Once upon a time. Once upon a time, I was watching a particularly banal television program, drama, cop drama, with my children. And usually I was objecting probably at some high volume, and I was being told, be quiet, because the story's on, and I was objecting, and suddenly the chase came along on the television program, and I stopped yelling and I watched. I thought, what is that? I wasn't a fan of the acting or the script or the formula nature of it, and a formula I've seen 1,000 times before, but I stopped with the chase, and I thought, well, what is that? And why are there so many stories? So many books, so many plays, so many movies, so many television stories. We're surrounded by them. So what's going on? Birds sing, bees dance, we tell stories.
The first story, I think that's the simple one. Biological survival, kill or be killed, eat or be eaten, catch or be caught. Stories based on fear, I mean, they're the easiest to sell, easiest to make. Why are there so many fear stories in the movies? Why so many fear stories on TV? But if we're in the storytelling arts, I mean, don't we have to know why we are telling these stories? So the second story, it's the love story, the story about union. And on the surface, it's all cleavage and 5 o'clock shadow and hunky biceps. But so in a deeper way, it's Romeo and Juliet. The yearning to be complete. Some would say to be made at one with God, and others would say to be made at one with the universe. And have you ever asked yourself why there are so many police stories, court dramas, CSI this, CSI that? Because that's the third story, the mystery story. Who did it? And again, right? We have no choice. We need to know, because we know that we live in a place that we don't really know the whole truth of. We only see a small part of the universe, and we need the hero to come back and tell us about that truth. And on the surface story, the hero is the detective or the legal team. But in the deeper stories, the heroes are the poets and the philosophers and the prophets. I mean, those who can see what we can't, right? Into the mystery.
The fourth story is more complicated to tell, and therefore it's less told. I mean, it is the transformation story. Is there more to our lives than what we see around us? I mean, on the surface, right, in the movie theaters, it's about Spider-Man and Superman, but, I mean, the real transformation stories, they're King Lear, and they're in Romeo and Juliet, and the story of Christ, Muhammad, and Buddha, and even the story of Nelson Mandela. I mean, are our lives just flickering light and shadows on the screen, and will we, like the projector bulbs, just one day run out? Shh. We want to know there's more. We must know there can be meaning.
So you may have guessed the fifth story by now, which is the creation stories. The religions, they sort of guarded the creation stories. The Mississaugas, the First Nations, the Hindus, the Christians, they all had the creation stories. And it puts us in relationship to who we are and relationship to that. We live an eyelash of a lifetime. And meaningless leads to despair. I mean, Beckett said it, astride the grave, difficult birth, down in the hole the grave digger puts on the forceps. We have time to grow old. The air is full of our cries.
So why go on?
I'm not sure. But you push back against despair. I think we create our humanity through story. And the imaginative inner universe that we weave around ourselves is assembled through stories. And that tapestry of stories that makes the inner universe, makes the outer universe livable.
Once upon a time.